Vallabha Girivarada Hari Upijana Vallabha Girivarada Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Singh Jai Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Bol. Nitai Gaura Premananda Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 So we're reading from Granthara Shrimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 9, Verse 7, chapter entitled Dhruva Maharaj Returns Home.
So we don't need a translation for now because every devotee here understand English so far. So just speak in English.
Uh-huh.
And we will share screen with some with Russian translation also.
Okay. Ekastvam eva Bhagavan idam atma saktya maya kyayor.
Shastagiri Prabhu, can we do like first just word by word Sanskrit, then we can also want to like you then you read the Sanskrit verse and we can also chant Sanskrit like normal system, you know.
Yeah. You want me to read the word for word first?
Yeah, word by word first, then you read the line, then
Okay.
the whole verse, right? And like line by line, 3 times. Then we will also chant Sanskrit, and then you can read word by word translation.
Okay. Ekas.
Somebody, your wife is there to um,
They
to
went
repeat.
to bed. It's a little late for us, so
Oh, okay. So, Nikila Prabhu, can you?
Yes, I can respond.
Okay. Okay, please.
Ekas
Eka
Tvam
Tvam
Eva Bhagavan
Eva Bhagavan
idam atmasaktya
Idam Atma Shaktya
maya akyaya
Maya Akhyaya
uru
Uru
gunaya
Gunaya
mahad adi asesam
Mahad Adi Ashesham
srishtva
Triштва
anuvishya
Anuvishya
purushas
Purushash
tad asad guneshu
Tat Asad Guneshu
naneva
Nanaeva
darushu
Darushu
vibhava vibhavasu
Vibhavasu
vat
Vat
vibhasi
Vibhasi
ekastvam eva bhagavan idam atmasaktya
Ekastvameva Bhagavan Idam Atma Shaktya
maya kyayor gunaya mahad adi asesam
Maya Kyayoru Gunaya Mahat Adya Shesham
sristvanu vishya purushas tad asad guneshu
Triштва Novishya Purushas Tatasan Guneshu
nane vadarusu vibhava vasuvad vibhasi
Nane Vadarushu Vibha Vasuvad Vibhasi
ekastvameva bhagavan idamatma saktya
Ekastvameva Bhagavan Idam Atma Shaktya
maya kyayor gunaya mahad adi asesam
Maya Kyayoru Gunaya Mahat Adya Shesham
sritvanu vishya purusha tadasat guneshu
Srištva Novishya Purushas Tatasan Guneshu
nane vadarusu vibhava vibhasi
Nane Vadarushu Vibha Vasuvad Vibhasi
ekastvameva bhagavan idamatma saktya
Ekastvameva Bhagavan Idam Atma Shaktya
maya yoro gunaya mahadadi asesam
Maya Kyayoru Gunaya Mahatadya Shesham
Shishvan vishya purusha tadasad guneshu
Srištva Nuvyasa Purushas Tatasan Guneshu
nane vadarusu vibhasi
Nane Vadarushu Vibha Vasuvad Vibhasi.
Ekastvameva Bhagavani Damatmashaktya
ekastvameva bhagavan idamatma saktya
Maya Kyayoru Gunaya Mahadaja Shesham
maya kyayor gunaya mahadadi asesam
Trishtvanu Vishya Purusastadasad Guneshu
Isvan vishya purusha tadasad guneshu
Nane Vadarshu Vibhava Vibhasi
Nane vadarusu vibhavasu vipasi.
Ekastvameva Bhagavan Idam Atma Shaktya
Ekastameva bhagavan nidamatma saktya.
Maya Kyayoru Gunaya Mahat Adya Shesham
Maya kyayor gunaya mahadadya sesam.
Srištva novishya purushastata sadguneshu.
Vishvanavishya Purushattva Satgunesu
Nane vadarushu vibha. Vasuvadvibhasi.
Nane Vadarusu Vibhava Vibhasi
Ekastvamaeva Bhagavan idamatma shaktya.
Ekasvameva Bhagavan Idamatma Saktya
Mayakyayoru gunaya mahatadya shesham.
Maya Kyayoru Gunaya Mahadadya Sesam
Srishtvanu vishya purushastata sadguneshu.
Vishwanavishya Purusastadasat
Nane vadarushu vibha vasuvat vibhasi.
Nani Vadarusu Vibhava Vipasi Eka
Eka.
one
One.
Tvam
Tvam.
you
You.
Eva
Eva.
certainly
Certainly.
Bhagavan
Bhagavan.
O my Lord
O my Lord.
Idam
Idam.
this material world
This material world.
Atma Saktya
Atma Shaktya.
by your potency
By your own potency.
Maya Akyaya
Maya Akhyaya.
of the name Maya
Of the name Maya.
Uru
Uru.
greatly powerful
Greatly powerful.
Gunaya
Gunaya.
consisting of the modes of nature
Consistent of the modes of nature.
Mahat Adi
Mahad Adi.
the Mahat Tattva etc.
The Mahad Tattva, etc.
Asesam
Ashesham.
unlimited
Unlimited.
Srishtva
Srištva.
after creating
After creating.
Anuvishya
Anuvishya.
then after entering
Then after entering.
Purusha
Purusha.
super soul
The super soul.
Tat
Tat.
of Maya
Of Maya.
Asatguneshu
Sadguneshu.
into the temporarily manifested qualities
Into the temporarily manifested qualities.
Nana
Nana.
variously
Variously.
Iva
Eva.
as if
As if.
Darushu
Darushu.
into pieces of wood
Into pieces of wood.
Vibhavasuvat
Vibhavasavat.
just like fire
Just like fire.
Vibhasi
Vibhasi.
you appear
You appear.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation My Lord, you are the Supreme One, but your different energies, but by your different energies, you appear differently in the spiritual and material worlds. You create the total energy of the material world by your external potency, and after creation, you enter within the material world as the Super Soul. You are the Supreme Person, and through the temporary modes of material nature, you create varieties of manifestation. Just as fire entering into wood of different shapes burns brilliantly in different varieties. Purport Dhruva Maharaj realized that the Supreme Absolute Truth, the Personality of Godhead, acts through his different energies Not that he becomes void or impersonal and thus becomes all-pervading. The Mayavadi philosopher thinks that the absolute truth being spread throughout the cosmic manifestation has no personal form. But here Dhruva Maharaj, upon realization of the Vedic conclusion, says, you are spread all over the cosmic manifestation by your energy. This energy is basically spiritual, but it acts in the material world temporarily. It is called Maya or illusory energy. In other words, for everyone but the devotee, the Lord's energy acts as external energy. Dhruva Maharaj could understand this fact very nicely. And he could understand also that the energy and the energetic are one and the same. The energy cannot be separated from the energetic. The identity of the Supreme Personality Godhead in the feature of Paramatma or Supersoul is admitted herein. His original spiritual energy enlivens the material energy, and thus dead body appears to have life force. Voidist philosophers think that under certain material conditions, the symptoms of life occur in material body. Excuse me. But the fact is that the material body cannot act on its own. Even a machine needs separate energy, electricity, steam, etc. It is stated in this verse that the material energy acts in varieties of material bodies just as fire burns differently in different wood according to the size and the quality of the wood. In the case of devotees, the same energy is transformed into spiritual energy. This is possible because energy is originally spiritual, not material. As it is said, Vishnu Shakti Para Prokta. The original energy inspires a devotee and thus he engages all his bodily limbs in the service of the Lord. The same energy as external potency engages the ordinary non-devotees in material activities for sense enjoyment. We should mark the difference between Maya and Swadharma. For devotees, the Swadharma acts, whereas in the case of non-devotees, the Maya energy acts. Om Jnana Timrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bodle Srimate Deva Amrita Swaminiti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bodle Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharni Nirvisesh Shunyavadi Pasyati Desaranya. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Very beautiful translation and purport. This famous verse from the Gita comes to mind. Daivihi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mam eva ye prabhadyante mayam etam tarantite. Krishna says, this divine energy of his, consisting the three modes of material nature, is almost impossible to overcome, except for those who surrender unto him. So this Maya world is actually created out of love and compassion of Krishna. But the acharyas explain that the purpose of this material world is for the conditioned souls to become rectified and go back home, back to God. That's the only purpose. This is the mercy of the Lord. The divine energy, Srimati Radharani, for the non-devotees, she becomes Durga and very strict, like a jail warden. She's very strict. I once saw this mother holding two kids trying to cross the road. One hand she was holding one child's hand, the other hand she was holding the other child's hand. One was very well behaved, so she was kind of gently holding, and the other one was restless and was rushing to cross the road without the mother's permission. So she was like, her grip was like really tight with that other child, and he was screaming, but she won't let him go because the boy could hurt himself. So the Divine Mother, Srimati Radharani, in the material world for conditioned souls, she's very strict, and she carries a trident, trishul, these three sharp points. One is Adhyatmika, Adidaivika, Adibhautika. So this she's jabbing the conditioned souls, including me, saying, "Go back to Krishna, like go back to Krishna, go back to Krishna." She's saying, "I'm already married to Lord Shiva. You can't try to enjoy me. You know that's not possible." So there's so much suffering, and the more rebellious a person becomes, the more suffering there is. Like a person, in America, about 60% or more of all the prisons are filled with black Americans, and even small offenses they go to jail. But then when you go to jail, there's it's not a place for gentlemen. You got to be really violent and tough, and then you get into a simple fight, and then your time in the jail extends. You go in for 6 months, and all of a sudden they give you 2 more years. And then, the more you fight with the warden and disrespectful, and then they put you in a solitary confinement. And then if you misbehave, people had to fight and kill just to survive. Then they put you in there for a lifetime. And then if you're still more rough, they put you in straight jacket, like they put you inside this jacket where, padded walls where you can't hurt yourself, you can't hurt the warden, and like you the more and more it becomes really strict. So that's what's happening in the material world. Everybody thinks it's like an innocent thing that we just want to enjoy, but it's not possible. The second canto of Shrimad Bhagavatam, Krishna tells Brahma that make sure you're very thorough in your creation, that you don't allow any happiness here. And Srila Prabhupada would explain, even if somebody says, okay, let me suffer, but let me go on living. But Prabhupada would say, that's not possible, sir. You have to, you know, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, you will be moved on. Like when Prabhupada went to France, he saw this, statue of Napoleon, and there was a plaque that said, Napoleon is France, and France is Napoleon. And Srila Prabhupada asked the devotees, okay, the France is here, where is Napoleon? And this statue is being pooped. There's pigeons pooping all over his head. So this is like short-lived. But a conditioned soul is very thirsty for happiness. Like my Guru Maharaj, Devamrita Maharaj, he studies a lot of psychology. He calls it the arrival fallacy. arrival fallacy. It's like we are excited, but then when we get there, hoping for enjoyment, the enjoyment is not there, or it's not sufficient. The bang for the buck, we don't get sufficient enjoyment, so it's really really frustrating. Like Prahlad Maharaj says, Shruti Sukham. Everybody's talking about happiness, but it's only heard of, but nobody is actually experiencing it. It's only like people talking about it. So Prahlad calls it the Sukham is of this world is Shruti Sukham. It's only talked about and heard about. So Krishna has given us free will, so he doesn't force anyone to come back to him. So there is like a teamwork, especially Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. The devotees are scattered throughout the planet and universe, where on behalf of Krishna, we are trying to canvas the living entities that to come back to Krishna, to come back to the senses. It's like one time my Guru Maharaj was saying in a Sankirtan class, he said, just distribute the books and the material nature will beat these rascals on the head and get them to read it. So it's like a teamwork going on, like Krishna's compassion, especially Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's compassion, and the beating of the material energy is bringing people to the senses, and the devotees standing in everywhere in the street corners, like in the malls, in concerts, in the shops, in wherever, some random places, trying to give the conditioned souls this mercy. Like I was talking to one devotee friend, god brother, and he was frustrated because he was preaching to somebody for many years, and then when Navaratri comes, this person that he's trying to cultivate does fasting and worships Durga. And apparently he told my friend, oh, it's all the same, Durga and Krishna. So my friend was really frustrated. He was asking me, Prabhu, after preaching to him so many years, he still says that Durga and Krishna is all the same. So I was explaining to my friend, this actually, you have to be very intelligent. And this philosophy that we are given and practicing is very advanced, actually. Don't expect like an average person to get it right away. Many of us are lucky and smart enough to get it. But ordinarily speaking, it's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy that we are given very exalted philosophy. So it's not surprising somebody don't get it. But if somebody actually, that's why I told my friend, you should read Prabhupada's books. Like my Guru Maharaj says, distributing books is only half of the service, it's only 50% of the service. The other 50% is hold their hand and sit down and read the books with them. Then it's like a full circle. He also says, first 8 chapters of Gita, there's so much obstacle and struggle a person faces. But then it's almost like Krishna takes over their life. Past that 8 chapter, things become more smooth. That's his realization. So I was just thinking, Srila Prabhupada's books, because we can have like very majestic philosophy, but if there's no entrance into that philosophy and you're not able to digest, then it's practically useless. So the Acharya's mercy, just like a mother eats broccoli and rice and dal, and then breast milk the baby can digest. She digests the food and she gives the breast milk which the baby can digest. If you try to feed broccoli to a 6-month-year-old child, they cannot digest. They'll be like dangerous. So the acharyas are giving us this majestic philosophy, but with their realization and compassion. That way, the mercy is digestible in the form. Like I'm teaching my nephew after being in Krishna consciousness for 30 years. I come from South Indian Brahmin family, but one person is taking it seriously, which is my nephew. And, I'm hearing and chanting with him, but he was born here in the USA. But you can see it's just like an American, they're like brown American. So Prabhupada's books are perfect because, there's, it's written in a way that people with no background can pick it up and read it and understand it. It's such a mercy, such a design, such a divine plan. So this is available, and it's our dharma, our duty to help this conditioned soul, to rescue this conditioned soul. And we can see in the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj how a crisis is become very favorable situation. Um, like they say, I will show you, I will show them. This attitude is actually very valuable in bhakti. Dhruva Maharaj was insulted, but that triggered so much auspiciousness in his life. He was able to find Krishna because Bhagavatam says that if everything is going first class and we're not thinking about Krishna, that's a curse. If everything is a failure and it's bringing us to search, to inquiry, to ask question, it's the greatest benediction. So Dhruva Maharaj, by the innocent direction of his mother, went to the forest, met his Guru Maharaj, and chanted Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya and attained perfection and materially, spiritually. And we are reading right now like a success story. So, we can't, like they say, never waste a good crisis. Like Srila Prabhupada would say, a businessman, expert businessman, he will make profit when things are going bad and when things are really booming. That's an expert businessman. So at the moment, the world, there's a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of chaos, disturbance. It's not even like underneath the surface. It's very obvious. Even America, when I came here 25 years ago, the kind of opulence they had, like easily people would give me $50 for a book at the airport, and people would give me $100, and we would have like $500 Sankirtan days and $700. Nowadays, everything has become more and more complicated, and a lot of like recession and racism, and people can't even afford rent. They're taking away that food vouchers they've been giving, and the minimum wage is not enough to pay for your car and your phone. So this sounds just like third world country. This kind of anxiety was never felt before. So people are actually suffering, obviously, and they're very interested in some alternative. So if we position ourselves, uh, even say we're not full-time distributors, even we shouldn't underestimate. if you're thinking like, okay, this week I'm not able to go on books, but I'm just going to carry a small book with me, I can give it to someone. And then the mind thinks, oh, what's the point? What's my one small book distribution is going to make any difference? But it does. So many people, like my Guru Maharaj, from his personal experience, he says he graduated from Yale University spending $200,000, but he was so confused about the choices. But somebody just gave him a little brochure, Teachings of Prahlad Maharaj, just gave it to him. And he went to a friend's house for a party, and he read that little brochure, and Prahlad is saying, Nayam Deha Bhajo, like Kashtan Kaman Aruhada Vid Bhujamya. There's so many verses Prabhupada was quoting uh, that, like animals and humans, if common thing is sense gratification. So, it doesn't make us any special if we're just enjoying the senses as human. And he said he felt like somebody punched him in the stomach really hard. He just collapsed in the couch, just like reading a little brochure. And he would say uh, that he would go out on books for 2 years and he would only sell one small book. And his Sankirtan leader called him a hard luck kid. And he was trying so hard, but he would only sell one small book, that they made him the Sankirtan leader just to see how much he's trying. And he said he was constantly lamenting, oh my God, I'm not doing much. I'm not like Bhrigupati. I'm not like Vaisheshika. But then anybody that got a small book, they will become devotees. They will become temple commanders, temple president. But he was, back then, he said, as a young brahmachari, he was overlooking the results that was coming even from the small book that was going out. So if we are able to be broad-minded, a devotee is a broad-minded person, not small-minded person. We just have to be in the mood of giving and giving and giving and giving. And, the results like Prabhupada would say is success or failure, that's superficial. So for us, you know, like Srila Prabhupada said, I simply, trying to distribute because my Guru Maharaj wanted it. He was not a author. He was not a in book printing business. He didn't know. He was a pharmacist. But what an amazing instruction Bhakti Siddhanta gives him. If you get money, print books. Like we think, okay, you have to give seva according to somebody's propensity. Prabhupada was a pharmacist, and Bhakti Siddhanta says, print, write and print and publish and distribute book if you get money. So it's completely like different. And Prabhupada took it to the heart, and he got into, book publishing, authoring books. And it's not like he didn't do just the duty. Okay, my Guru Maharaj said, preach to the Westerners. He could have come to the USA and write one Gita translation and went back home. Or he had so much success in the West, and Bhaktisiddhanta told him to preach in the West, but Prabhupada went back to India to continue serving beyond the call of duty. So Prabhupada would say success or failure, I'm staying in Los Angeles right now. These deities, Rukmini Dwarakadesh, spoke to Krishna, to Prabhupada. Prabhupada saying, you gave me so much success, now you're sending me to India. And Dwarakadesh told him, I have a more amazing temple waiting for you. And it's not like Juhu story was very pleasant. And it was not given so cheaply. There was so much battle. As we can see in the purport, Prabhupada says, except for the devotees, everybody is just meaningless. Srama eva hi kevalam. They work hard and they just get old and they suffer and die. Prabhupada said to become cat or dog. Prabhupada said that's why he would call this a cat and dog society, because the society that's leading people to cat and dog birth is a cat and dog society. And so it's nothing exciting outside. Sometimes we think, oh, we are devotees, we're doing the same thing, it's routine going on, but we all remember, like, being in the material world, it was not anything special, it was just boring, same old, and we had to take so much intoxication and painkiller just to continue. Because imagine the wine shops are closed, people will kill each other because they're numbing themselves. You need so much intoxication to keep the society calm. If you take that away, it's like it's too sobering. Too suffering is so much that nowadays this like Ozempic and so many injections out there, and the food industry is horrible. And to resist yourself, you have to inject yourself with Ozempic, so you lose your appetite. So it's a mad, mad place outside. So we are so lucky. We are given such a beautiful lifestyle. Take rest early, get up, chant, do a little service. It's amazing. In a short life, we can attain success. And to our best ability, Prabhupada said a disciple can postpone the instruction of the Guru due to circumstances, but he doesn't forget about the instruction of the Guru. So we may not be like Maharatis, or we may not be able to do so many books, but that should be the heart of every devotee, because that's what the Acharya wanted. Kanishta Adhikaris, sometimes in our movement, we have a lot of them fighting over every small thing, arguing over every small thing, too much smartha mentality, ritualism. It's very not not what the acharyas wanted us. The acharyas wanted us to raise to the Madhyama platform and distribute and practice, not just practice, but to distribute the knowledge and show compassion. So this way, it's very, we make a lot of spiritual advancement. A Sankirtan devotee makes so much spiritual advancement. Like a great yogis, like you read in Srimad Bhagavatam, we can become very advanced by distributing Prabhupada books. And also, there's a lot of mercy and forgiveness. I'm just looking at myself throughout my little journey, committed a lot of mistakes. But I'm thinking, how am I here? Like how am I here? How am I reading and chanting and giving out books? But I the only thing I can think of is a Sankirtan devotee gets extra care and attention and mercy from Krishna. So we shouldn't waste this opportunity. Like back in the day, from your countries, I'm reading like all the hardships the devotees went through to practice and to print and distribute books. Nowadays, it's you know the printing press was invented the same year Lord Chaitanya appeared. So it's you know and yeah, this is a great plan and we can be part of it. One time my Guru Maharaj had this letter by Srila Prabhupada on his locker as a brahmachari, because there was a leader and he was misbehaving and Prabhupada get complaints about him constantly. So Prabhupada wrote him a letter and said, you know, I don't know if you realize, like Lord Chaitanya has blessed you with this great responsibility. But I'm disappointed to hear that you're not taking advantage of it. But Prabhupada told him, be assured that if it's not you, it will be someone else. Like Mahaprabhu will get things done, but do you want the credit or no? But if you're not seeing the the potential, and you're like acting in a crazy way, then Prabhupada wrote in the letter, if it's not you, it'll be someone else. And my Guru Maharaj had that in his locker. So we are given the opportunity, and if we take full advantage of it, we'll be benefited, and the people will be benefited, and the acharyas are pleased, and the the hoof print of a calf, the material existence, uh, Mahat Padam, Vatsa Padam, it becomes the size of the hoof print of a calf. The material existence shrinks. So this way, we personally experience that ourselves, and we can give that to others. So I'll stop here if any of you want to share anything or ask anything or.
Hare Krishna. Yes, thank you very much for this wonderful lecture.
Jai Prabhu. Thank
So
you for
like amazing, so many
opportunity.
examples. Um, uh, yeah, regarding Durga, worshiping Durga, I just went to one country and there are ISKCON temples there, and what they do,
Mm.
during this Durga Puja, they install in Durga deity in this
Mm.
ISKCON temple
Mm.
and worshiping Durga during this. And when the when devotee ask, when someone ask, why are you doing this? So the pretext is because many like because many Hindu people over here,
Mm-hmm.
Bengali people, they can come during this and make some donations, and it helps to maintain the temple. So this kind of they are explaining. But as you told, as you mentioned, the reason is because they're not sufficiently reading Prabhupada books, right? So they're not kind of this have this understanding that it's very rare. It's not cheap, like this understanding that Krishna is sufficient to worship Krishna, and nothing
Mm-hmm.
else is needed. Right? Nobody else is needed. It's not cheap. So they can they someone cannot understand this point that so they still like so yeah, so reading Prabhupada books is giving us intelligence, congregational reading and discussing this, that's awakening our intelligence, otherwise it's just not going through.
Yeah, very good point. Yeah, this just by doing the basic things Prabhupada gave us, there's plenty of Lakshmi will come. Harinam and Prasadam distribution, book distribution. If we keep it clean and pure, like we see throughout the world, all our successful leaders like Niranjan Maharaj, Ranath Maharaj, Shivram Maharaj, Devamrit Maharaj, your Guru Maharaj, these are all pure, strictly following Srila Prabhupada's teachings, and there's plenty of resources and opulences they have. Lakshmi is a byproduct. So yeah, that's we forgetting like they say the lady that lives in the sandalwood forest. She takes the sandalwood tree to make chapatis as the log, as the fuel. It's like too much familiarity. So sometimes we forget the importance of the devotees and the purity and keeping it clean. We think the insecurity, we want to like water down things. But if that's what we want, Krishna will give us money, but that's all we're gonna get. you know. But if we want pure love, then the money comes along with it. So sometimes we don't, like Prabhupada would say, don't go to the king and ask him for pinch of ashes. So don't ask God for daily bread. It's yes, so it's a very interesting times in our society. Is there anybody else have anything to ask or say, add?
Джен Прабу, может, для Атиндри Прабу перевести немного?
Okay, we have one participant who's not understanding English. Just translate for him the question and answer. Атиндия Прабу, я сказал, что там Шастагит Прабу говорил по поводу Дурги, что некоторые поклоняются Дурге, хотя как бы знают, что Кришна. Но это на самом деле не такое простое, то есть это довольно непросто обрести настоящее понимание, что Кришна это самый главный, да, не нужно никому больше поклоняться. Просто был пример, я приехал в одну страну, и там в московском храме прям в течение Дурга-пуджи устанавливали божество Дурги и поклонялись, как бы проводили пуджу каждый день. Для того, чтобы, мол, люди приходили, хинду там, и оставляли пожертвования, и тогда храм может существовать. Но вот Шастаки Прабhu сказал, что это как бы ты сохраняешь чистоту, да, следуешь Прабхупаде, поклоняешься Кришне, то Лакшми это побочный продукт. То есть там, где Кришна, там Лакшми, и не нужно никаких там других каких-то средств выдумывать. Вкратце, то есть просто следовать Шри Прабхупаде, и написано. Если есть какие-то, реализации преданные, вопросы, пожалуйста.
Спасибо большое, Тхир Прабу.
Тиндер Прабу, вас не слышно? Что? Или... Очень тихо вас слышно.
Да, спасибо большое.
Хорошо. Yeah, was one more point that this we read just recently that there is a phrase Vishwapurnam Sukhayate. For the devotee, the whole material world turns full of happiness. So it's kind of related to I thought like how why, but this is Prabhupada just explained right in the purpose that the spirit, the Maya, the material energy, Maya, she for the devotee this energy acting as a spiritual energy. The same energy for the devotee, they acting as a spiritual, the material energy acting as a spirit. So that's why for the devotee, the whole material world is full of happiness because a devotee is not under the spell of material energy. A spell under the spiritual energy. I will translate. Недавно мы читали, что есть такая фраза, мы читали «Вишва пурнам сукаятасу». Для преданного весь материальный мир, он становится исполненным счастьем, то есть полон счастья. Я думал, как так, почему так происходит? И вот сегодня Прабхупада объяснял в комментарии, что вот эта материальная энергия, майя, да, она на преданного, она действует как духовная энергия. Из материальной превращается в духовную. Поэтому преданный, находясь в материальном мире, он постоянно исполнен блаженства, потому что он не находится под влиянием материальной энергии.
Yeah, Srila Prabhupada says that one time he saw some police was coming in his neighborhood. Some guys ran away. So Prabhupada asked the policeman, like, why are these people running away? And the police said, oh, because they're criminals. They're like thieves. So Prabhupada says, for a good citizen, when they see police, you feel protection. You feel like, okay, safety. But then for a thief, it's like a complete different experience. Similarly, for us, what we are experiencing and what the non-devotee experiencing is completely different. And also Prabhupada says especially the liberated souls, it's like a judge going into the prison, and the prisoners may think, oh, this guy is one of us now. No, but the judge is going in to the prison to make the laws. He's not affected by the laws. Similarly, a devotee, even though it looks like we are in the prison with the other criminals, but our experience and what we feel is totally different. That freedom is, they cannot understand.
Я переведу, Антония Прабhu. Шастра Прабhu говорит, что да, это такой пример это был случай, полиция приехала, и какие-то люди начали разбегаться. Это Прабхупада был. И Прабхупада спросил полицию, почему они бегут? А полицейский сказал, потому что они преступники, они знают, что за ними есть вина какая-то, вот они в страхе разбегаются. Вот. И также пример с... Какой там, с чем был пример?
Ну, Шрила Прабхупада сказал, что если законопослушный гражданин увидит полицейского, то он почувствует, что я в порядке, там, я защищен, что там государство о мне заботится. Вот.
Да, то есть наоборот, да. Для законопослушного гражданина, наоборот, когда полицейский появляется, то наоборот, да, появляется такое чувство защиты, что я защищен, да, полицейский меня защищает, да. А когда преступника приходит, да, полиция, то преступник чувствует как страх, да, там, беспокойство. Вот. Да, спасибо. А какой второй пример там был? Вот сейчас Крит приводил пример. Что есть память Кали-южная. Ладно. Окей. Шастра Прабhu, I think we need to go now. Our car is waiting outside.
Yeah, thank you. You all have a wonderful year-end marathon and New Year. Thank you for the association opportunity. Vancha kalpadara vesha
Thank you very much, Shastra Prabhu. We are looking forward to have you again someday.
Yes. You're doing such a wonderful seva. Please inspire us. Continue to inspire us, Dhira Prabhu.
Special thank you to Dhanya Mataji for inspiring us.
And my obeisances to Mahadhyuti Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.